Halo guys, jumpa lagi dengan saya Andre Damar dari Print Graphic Channel. Dalam kesempatan kali ini, Print Graphic Channel mendapatkan kehormatan untuk mewawancari langsung yaitu Mr. Frank van Deursen. Beliau adalah Sales Director untuk Kroon EMEA, jadi untuk wilayah Eropa. Nah, thank you for the interview.
Thank you very much to come, and we are very welcome, and nice to meet you all here together in Düsseldorf. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity for this interview. Can you introduce yourself to Indonesian public?
Yes, I can do that. My name is Frank van Deursen, what you already told me. Yeah. So I'm working in the graphic industry, I think more than 40 years, because the graphic industry is also a little bit the industry of grey and bold and old people. Yeah, not so sexy as in the past. And I must say, I follow all the developments from film and paper and to CTP. And yeah, the CTP started in the half year 90s. And at that time, it was, let's say, market leaders were Kodak, Screen, and Creo at that time. And there was a market was given to the big boys. Yeah. In 2012, I started with Chrome. So before that I worked at Mitsubishi, Flexoblade, polyester blade. But in 2012 I started by Chrome for CTP. And on that moment in 2012 we were on a good time because the graphic industry was moving in another direction. Yeah, at that time in 2012 there were a lot of small printing houses, we call it mom and daddy companies, family owned companies with 2-3 people, with 2 color press, with a 1 color press, all very small print houses. And when we saw the developments that this industry went from this small, let's say, ateliers to really industry, yeah, we followed this because when we saw that in the beginning 12, you see also that print was not given by, let's say, jobs by the print house by themselves, but there started also some platforms in internet. Platforms who just, let's say, came with a lot of print work and looked at which print house it could be given, and then we had the start of online printers. And online printers, they need a few things. They need a very cheap price, yeah, and they need automatization because also labor is very expensive. At that time, 2012, 2013, it was not allowed in Europe to sell thermal plates because there were some patents from at that time Agfa gave out. And we found the good solution with Chrome Blackwood UV plates. So at that time I had a very easy job as a salesman because I came to print houses who used more than 50-60,000 square meter. With the UV plates, Chinese UV plates, the plates were €2 per square meter cheaper. So they could really make €100,000 more profits than they buy our plates. But for the €100,000 it was easy to sell Chrome CTP. And in this market it started. It was not an easy start because when we started with Chrome, there was not automatization by Chrome. They begin slowly with loaders and punching, etc. But in the beginning was not easy. And then I had my first order by an internet printer. We started with a 500 loader, and that was not good enough. And then we merged with company Krause, we merged the pallet loader with us together, and then we really could fill the needs of this customer. He really could make, let's say, 600 plates a day without any jam, because if you have a jam and the printer is not watching, then in a few hours the printing press is down. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And at that time we are growing and growing, and let's say all these internet printers, they talk to each other, and then we have huge international companies like Simpress who have print houses all over the world who became our client, yeah, and from that time it went fast. But also Chrome was one of the last in offset who is innovate, yeah, because maybe I talk too much all things together, but the last Drupa you saw a lot of digital, and all our brands or our competitors from the past like Kodak, Fuji and Screen, they only have R&D in digital, but Chrome is still developing. And that we listen to the market, we listen to the internet market. Their demands was speed and automatization. So we developed at that time our own pallet loader, who was very competitive. So we had a line of the Chrome H1500 pallet loader with 46, 128 diets. We had a machine with 47 plates an hour, what was very reliable, but also we continue because the market also asked more speed, because you can imagine if you change 6 to 8 times the plates on a color press, you need already 50 plates an hour. Yeah? So then Kron came with a very magic idea with a double drum construction, because then we developed a double drum machine, and double drum machine is a machine who can make 70 plates an hour with pellet loader. And the main advantage and the huge difference with our competitor, because also Kodak and Screen can make 70 plates an hour, but they need more laser. They need VLG laser, what is very expensive, yeah, and also can be broken and can be down, and is very costly when it is down. In China, iron is not so expensive, yeah, so we have 2 iron drums and 1 laser box who normally made 40 plates an hour, he can now make 70 plates an hour, because the one plate is loading, the other plate is unloading, and you will continue are exposing. So you see, Kron was more and more innovating, and more or less now we became more the standard. And what I tell often is that when I came in 2013 in Germany, because Germany is what we call the home of offset, you mentioned just KBA, Man Roland, obviously Man Roland is another issue, and Heidelberg, yeah, that is the home of offset. And when we started with Kron, yeah, the market was laughing. They say, hey, come on, Mr. van Deurzen, you see we have here a Heidelberg printing press for more than 3 million euro. Yeah? What do you think? We take the risk of a cheap Chinese rubbish between brackets? Yeah? That was 2012, 2013. Now we are market leader. I can show you, I have some reference in all, let's say, big German customers like Hauser, like Silverberg, like groups, they automatically buy Kron. Yeah, so Kron is now in the home of offset, let's say Heidelberg, Germany, market leader. Yeah, and that has its effects all over Europe. So it's now if a printing house needs, because when does a printing house buy a new CTP? Yeah, because the CTP is never go down. It's a big photo camera with lenses and light, and if light is broken, you can repair it. But they need more speed and more automatization. So they have to kick out the manual machine and have to buy a machine with loader and internally punch, yeah, and speed. And therefore, Kron offered exactly what the market needed. And that is what we do and still doing, and that's I hope. And last 2 weeks ago we had a huge dealer meeting here, and we become market leader in Germany, France, in Benelux, and we try to spread it, because during our dealer meeting we had a lot of people from East Europe, yeah, and also Turkey, and in this part of the world they just have the same move that we had 10 years ago, that small printers get eaten by other printers and become big industrial printers who run also. And we hope to spread our success in these areas, and maybe hopefully also in your part of the world, in Asia, also the automatization, because the world is very small, and success is let's say you cannot block it in one part of the world, you spread it all over the world. So I think also, Indonesia is maybe in logistic different with all the islands maybe, but it's let's say quite distribution and logistic. I think it also will come. Yeah, and it's I don't know the labor cost at the moment, but also the labor cost will go also in this part of the world will be also raising up, and let's say so they have to do with automatization and innovation in CTVs.